These women are monsters. I'm not going to mince words here. These women are absolute monsters. If you're in a relationship and you love someone and you've had a family with this individual, you would never want to see them suffer, period. Now imagine allowing them to suffer publicly. That's exactly what these women are doing. They are somehow have become creatures on their quest for power, and they should be ashamed of themselves, but I promise you they won't be, because it's all about serving the party. And if they have to sacrifice their husbands, oh well.
As Candace Owens being brought on to Tucker Carlson's show to once again attack Jill Biden and Giselle Fetterman. It's a war that the right has been waging against them for some reason. They're getting something out of it. I don't know, generalized misogyny or what, but she had more to say, and she wasn't going to be stymied by any follow-up questions or Tucker Carlson asking about some of the insane, absurd, anti-Semitic things that she said recently. He just brought her on to chit chat. So she goes on to say, wouldn't you think that a woman who loves a spouse who loved her husband would say, no, it's not good for him? Why is Dr. Jill not the villain in this story? What is her problem? What a ghoulish, power-seeking creep. And the same with Giselle Fetterman. Her husband's in a mental hospital. Like, what? And she wasn't the only one. We're gonna get to what Tucker Carlson said, but they've been attacking Jill Biden off and on, but they've been attacking Giselle Fetterman constantly since long before John Fetterman was even elected to the Senate. I do not understand what the point of all of this is. Jordan, what do you think? Why are they doing this?
This is really low. I mean, you could criticize Biden for not being all there. I mean, plenty of Democrats did during the primary. That's fair game, sure. What does his wife have to do with it? They're acting like behind the scenes. They're, encouraging them to stay in there, knowing that there's serious consequences and health risks there. The Fetterman stuff is very different, and that I think is more seedy. Because we've talked a lot in the progressive and liberal world about how we need to break through this stigma of people getting care for mental health. It's just like going to the doctor for a cold or a virus or something. It's no different. It's part of your body. It's your brain. It's an organ. So him getting health or treatment for his mental health is good. You should celebrate that. And his wife is supporting him in that. Members of the Democratic caucus and Senate are supporting him in that. That's great. More people should do that. To attack Giselle Fetterman for standing by her husband's side and supporting him in this is just really gross. But it's ultimately because they're upset they lost. They're doing this because they're mad Trump lost to Biden and the Dr. Oz lost to John Fetterman. Sorry, just take the L and move on.
Exactly. Well, they're incapable of doing that. Right. You would think there should be incentives to eventually move on. Constantly whining and whining and whining should make you look utterly pathetic to everyone who watches your channel, but for some reason that doesn't happen. And years after these losses, it's still a popular thing to do, to complain. Look, they have to attack Jill Biden because they want to get across the idea that Joe Biden, who is a political mastermind on a world level, is also suffering from dementia and can't do literally anything for himself. It's a fun back and forth. It's like the January 6th rioters, are they political prisoners, conservatives who are being attacked, or are they Antifa? I don't know, it depends. Every minute it switches, it's fun. And for Giselle Fetterman, I think they care even more about this because with Biden, they know that at the end of the day, Biden is effectively a 1980s Republican, whereas John Fetterman is more of an actual threat to the status quo. They have to try to annihilate the chance of him having crossover potential to Republicans, which they know he probably will because his policies are in many cases economically populist and are likely to be popular with them. So attack him in this way, saying that I think they've moved on from he's not actually a human. A computer is just running his brain. That is literally something that Tucker Carlson, a guy with an audience of millions, was saying on his show. It was so absurd. I don't know if Alex Jones would have said it, but it was perfectly fine for Tucker Carlson to do that. And he's also not going to feel restrained by the facts. He said, because this wasn't just Candace Owens, he said, so here you have Dr. Jill Biden and Giselle Fetterman, both cheering on their husband's political careers. Well, one is effectively incapacitated by dementia. He means Joe Biden. It's absurd, but he's saying it. And the other one is literally in a mental hospital, except of course, He is not literally in a mental hospital. If he was, that would be fine. And I don't know why you would find the need to demonize that, but he's not. He checked himself into Walter Reed National Military Medical Center to deal with depression. And again, the right, which in the wake of every single mass shooting, the only thing that touches on policy that they can work themselves up to actually address is the mental health crisis in this country. And so what should we do about it? Well, when it comes to funding, literally nothing. People should not have any access to these sorts of services. And if they actually think about doing something about the mental health, we're going to attack them as incompetent, that they can't be trusted, they should be demonized and attacked in the media. So getting a little bit of mixed messages when it comes to how we should address America's undiagnosed mental health problems. Jordan, any other thoughts?
It's exhausting. Like you're saying, that's the one thing they pretend to care about when someone goes in and shoots up a school or shoots up a movie theater or a mall or the many other places where people who think and look like them, and in some cases, people who watch Fox News and subscribe to Tucker's ideology, go in and shoot up a church. It's not the extremism that they're broadcasting every night. It's mental health. Then prove it. Prove that you care about mental health. They won't, because their entire game is to continue to shift the goalposts so they're never at fault for anything. It's always someone else's problem. And that problem they will never work to find a solution for.
Yeah.
Just that's their whole MO.
Yeah, and they'll talk about how these the young incels, they need help, they need to be understood. So should they talk to someone? Should they get therapy? No, that's weak stuff. They shouldn't do that. And honestly, this is probably more complicated than it needs to be. I don't think they think this far ahead. But if you were a grifter, that everything that you said was designed to appeal to people who have been trained to think about the world in a conspiratorial fashion, to not trust anyone, to hate and fear everyone. Would you want people to be well adjusted and have access to a support network and therapy and all that? You would be ruining your future audience if you were to do that. So I sort of understand the profit motive here coming from both Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson. They are here to make money and get clout. That's it. And they don't care how many bodies they leave in their wake. Both of them spent literally years being willing to willingly sacrifice their audience members to COVID because that would reassure the rest of the people, the ones who didn't die needlessly from COVID, that they were pure in some sense.